hello, chat. I didn't say, but we do also have a special guest joining us today.
Yep.
The man, the myth himself, Tsukuyomi, a.k.a. Manny.
Making the appearance.
Has made an appearance on the show. Pawn, is this your Tsukuyomi?
Yes, this is... Okay, so I actually have four body pillows. I have Tsukuyomi, Achilles, Horus, and Set.
Okay.
And when we were making these characters, there was an artist who basically just kept sending us body pillow versions of those characters.
Okay.
So I ended up collecting them all with all said and done. So I actually just have all the body pillows now.
It's amazing.
It is great. Fantastic.
We just felt like, since he was being featured on the show today, we should bring him. As you'll note, I'm running the show today instead of the usual better showrunner, Hindu Man himself. He unfortunately wasn't feeling well today. So he was here at the office this morning and then just wasn't feeling well and headed home. A couple people have headed home today. So I'm hoping that everyone does not end up sick here. But
well, I was sick last week, so hopefully I didn't.
Yeah, hopefully you're, I don't know. My wife was sick, but I'm not, knock on wood. So anyway, so today we're going to be going through Tsukuyomi.
Yeah.
We're going to be going through his aspect because he does ship with an aspect.
He does ship with an aspect.
We're going to see his ascension pass. We're going to see a bunch of new skins that are kind of part of a new event.
Yep.
We're going to have a couple other smaller things. And we're going to have a good show previewing this patch, OB18, which will go live on Tuesday next week.
Yep.
If you want to play this patch, you will hopefully get a chance later today. We had to make a new PTS build, so PTS will not, we're not expecting it to go live as soon as the show is over, like it usually does, but sometime tonight. Keep an eye on our social media, and we will tweet when the PTS is up and available. So apologies for that delay. We have a lot of things that are kind of like work in progress right now that aren't quite done to a point where we can ship them, and one of them snuck in a way that broke the build that was going to go into PTS today. So we will have that coming up later today. Cool. Tsukuyomi.
Yeah.
Who is Tsukuyomi?
So Tsukuyomi, just the quick lore, is one of the heavenly siblings with Susanoo and Amaterasu.
Okay.
He represents the moonlight. Amaterasu represents sunlight, and then Susanoo is kind of the storm dude.
Okay.
And his story is interesting because his whole personality is basically the reason like Amaterasu ran off into the cave and basically the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the sky is because Amaterasu is like, look, you need to host this guest at our house. I'm going to be back later. Don't mess this up. And the guest was a patron of food.
Okay.
And the way she brings food into existence is basically vomiting it into existence. And this offended his sensibility, and I believe he killed her. And Amaterasu is like, you're the worst host ever, and basically left him. That's a very short, abridged story, but that's the kind of personality of Tsukuyomi. He's the guy who, like, he wants proper decorum. He wants proper authority of who is above who.
He says, Mangetsu, burn bright.
Yes, and he also... it was funny going through him again, like actually having to implement him again with like Shingetsu, Mangetsu, and all the things. I was like, man, I'd really maxed out the weeb meter.
Yeah, he's
Tsukuyomi.
He's always actually been a very popular character in pretty much every skill level and across a bunch of different like roles, right?
Yeah.
Because he's historically been more of a jungler by default, I would say. But I've seen him played mid, I've seen him played solo, and some of his new stuff will help play into that a little bit.
Oh yeah, his new stuff really gives him a lot of flexibility. So we can probably spoil it. He's a hybrid scaler.
Okay.
He is going to have both strength and intelligence stuff. And there are things that basically make the idea of like strength is you still have a lot of movement speed, you have a lot of chase down potential, your basic attacks are more impactful. The inside is playing more around that kind of mid-range poke of the Kusarigama having the kind of like mid-range attack. You have like the long range of the Caltrops, you have the long range auto attacks. So you're playing that more mid to long range type character. And then his aspect basically super doubles down on like the mid style of play.
Cool. Well, I will say with no further ado, and I will get us into it here in a second. But what is the command to make minions stop spawning? Because
no more minions.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an easy one.
It's
no
all one
minions.
word.
There we go. Hey, beautiful. Okay. And then I got to push a button over here. Let's see if I can find it.
You can just hit them
I
all.
push this,
We'll
and then I
find the right one.
push this. Hey, okay.
We're in there.
We're in there. Tsukuyomi, I need to fix the audio.
And I will give
let's
the
see.
traditional warning of the version you're looking at right now is in dev. There's some things that I fixed this morning already. There's some things
No audio?
that I've talked to the VFX team. His tonfas are a little bit dark right now. I passed that feedback along. We're looking at resolving that. So there's some final visual polish stuff that will be coming in still. But he's pretty representative. If you were to play him right now, you'd have a pretty good time. So we can go over all the stuff.
Yeah. So, Tsukuyomi.
Yep.
Where should we start?
Let's just
talk me through it.
Let's go over his kit. So first thing is his passive, Shingetsu and Mangetsu. Those are his Tonfa blades. One represents full moon, one represents the new moon. This works exactly the same as you're used to in Smite 1. As you deal damage with your Tonfas, either with a ranged and powered attack or just normal attack, the blade will begin to glow and get these bonus effects. Shingetsu gets a cleave and restores mana, and Mangetsu does some bonus damage and also restores you with health. So if you go out attack Ymir, you'll be able to see the nice, really cool glow that these things have. Look how fancy those look.
Ooh, that glow looks nice.
And a nice touch that I noticed this morning while doing the VFX review is the Shingetsu has the downward effects, and the Mangetsu has upward effects.
Yeah, the particles going in. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of really cool small touches. But yep, it works exactly as you would expect it to in Smite 1. That hasn't really changed.
And then you notice that the passive meter also highlights at that time, and you get these
which I have
temp icons.
I fixed. Those are that was the last thing I did before I came on the show, was actually fix that.
Sweet. Okay. Another thing that we noticed at the beginning of the show is that if I use agility on him, he jumps twice.
Yeah. So
just a silly graphical thing. But anyway,
yeah. So we'll resolve
that. Okay, so we got the passive.
Yep. On to the first ability, which is Dark Moon Shuriken. Again, man, I really wanted to make him super edgy.
Shingetsu, burn bright.
So he throws his shuriken, and this does damage. It passes through target, stops on first got hit, sticks to the target, and if you walk next to it or get close to it, you actually basically re-pick up the shuriken to get a lower cooldown. So if you can hit people and then get back on top of them, you're able to actually get more value out of it. Okay. There's a bug right now where it doesn't play the nice hit effect when it hits you. It does the thing. It also does the empowered ranged Shingetsu attack. So if you throw your one out again.
Yeah. What's the reduced cooldowns?
If you just do slash or just cooldowns. Cooldown space 1, I think is.
Space 1. Okay.
Yeah, so you throw it. Now you have a ranged basic attack. That's going to be a Shingetsu themed ranged basic attack. This does some damage. It also has a wider hit area. And that's, you'll get that type. This is a very Shingetsu related ability. So you get the Shingetsu range attack. The +1 for this is that shuriken that's stuck in the target. If you killed someone in Smite 1, it actually just wouldn't, it would just disappear and vanish. It actually just stays in the ground now for you to pick up. So killing a target with it, actually, you'll still be able to pick it up off the ground and get value out of it.
Very cool.
Just a small, nice touch.
Yeah, it's like you don't get penalized for killing the god anymore, which is nice.
On to the second ability, Kusarigama. This is where we have our first major +1. So the Kusarigama is you do a 3-string combo. The first 2 disarm, and the final 1 stuns. However, so all that's the same. If you're playing Strength Tsukuyomi, you're playing a very similar Tsukuyomi to what you played before. There is a benefit to the final hit will also give you a Shingetsu infused attack. So if you actually hit the final on someone, you actually get, that's another way for you to get the ranged attack. That's also a new +1.
Mm-hmm.
But the second new thing is if you build more intelligence than strength, it will change.
Ooh, should I go do that?
Yeah,
or okay?
I would go do that.
Well, let's build some intelligence. I'm just gonna buy a Bancroft, and that should be enough.
So you can see the icons actually change.
Oh yeah, look, it's a different color.
So the theming of this ability was always that Shingetsu Mangetsu kind of fused to become a weapon that you used as the Kusarigama. And so now you're essentially saying which weapon is actually taking more of a personality in this attack. This one will do more damage on the final hit, has longer range on the final hit. It's actually 8 meters, which is almost a full range basic attack, but you lose the stun.
Okay.
And if you hit with the final hit of this one, you get a Mangetsu ranged attack.
Ah.
So this is a way for if you're playing the inside.
Oh yeah, look at how long that. Well, sorry. I'll show.
Yeah, right. The target is missing right now.
Oh, okay.
But if you back away from that Ymir pretty far, you'll see how far it hits. So yeah, it's still gonna hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it hits a pretty long distance, and this is another way for you to get a Mangetsu range attack.
Okay. So you have a second way of getting Mangetsu other than okay.
Yep. And then so that's the big +1 there is if you build more int versus strength, you're essentially trading. Oh, you also don't get movement speed on that Kusarigama. So if you're strength side.
Oh yeah, much slower because you're very fast if you're strength side.
So your strength side because your Shingetsu, your dark range attack steals movement speed. The Kusarigama will give you movement speed. It also gives you a stun. If you're playing the more melee focused style of Tsukuyomi. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just playing with it.
The range,
yeah, we need to get the targeter finished.
Yeah, that was part of the feedback from this morning. you'll get that a whole bunch of movement speed and the extra crowd control, or you can replace it for more ranged poke and damage.
Yeah.
But you're more vulnerable because you're slower during that window of time. You're having less opportunity to actually get those movement speed steal type effects. That's the kind of trade-off we're going for here. On to the 3. This is Silver Moon Caltrops. I don't believe there's any +1s here, except that it's just a cool ability that has, I think the major thing is it's a little more consistent in its tick rate as people move.
Okay.
The way it detects movement is just a bit more consistent than it was before. But yeah, you put Caltrops down, it damages people when it first lands and slows them, and as they're moving inside of it, they will begin to take more ticking damage and slow.
Yeah.
Basically, don't walk on Caltrops.
It can actually do a lot.
With the damage summing, it's really funny. Every single time we add like another ability that's like a multi-hit thing, with our damage summing, it's very apparent how much this actually does in a fight.
Yeah.
And I also try to theme all the abilities. So if you are Dark Moon Shuriken is Shingetsu themed, Caltrops are Mangetsu themed. The Mangetsu themed things are more int focused side of things. The more Shingetsu things are more strength focused side. So if you want Silver Moon Caltrops to hit hard, your best bet is to actually do that with intelligence.
Okay. And I have seen it hit quite hard in some of our playtests.
Yes, it is quite good.
Cool. And then your Mangetsu also scales off of intelligence.
Yes.
And your Shingetsu scales off of...
it's basically just flat in-hand damage.
Okay, it's just
that
flat.
one,
So,
and that
okay.
one's the movement speed steal.
So this is like my strength versus my int, and because I have more int, that did more damage.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you're trying to get more of these if you are building int.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then on to the ultimate Piercing Moonlight. This is the super fancy Omni Dash type thing. You fire 4 beams. For each target that you hit, you'll mark them as a valid target to basically dash you, and you'll dash through them in a rapid sequence. The +1 here is the beams are more int focused. Everyone's focused on the candy. Yeah, candy. That's gotta be Kellen, right?
It's probably gonna be Kellen.
What a line.
I didn't realize it. It's Clumsy. It's Clumsy's voice.
Clumsy?
Kellen did it.
Oh shit, that's funny.
I didn't realize it played the voice. That's good.
That's actually really good. Piercing Moonlight. Beams more int focused.
Yeah.
The dash hits are more more strength focused.
Okay.
And the +1 here is that the actual dash hits count as basically basic attack hits for the purposes of proccing items. So if you buy things like Kin's Blade or Tyrfing, it will actually proc those effects as well.
Okay. And so once again, if I hit you with my beam, that's more int. And then when I'm actually dashing around to hit you, that's more strength scale.
Yes.
And then I get on hit effects for attacks.
Yes.
When I hit you bouncing around.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can it crit? Chat wants to.
No.
Okay.
It cannot crit.
Okay. It cannot crit, but it does do the on hand.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe Wild Me from like 2 weeks ago decided to put that tag on, but I don't think I did.
Okay. You want me to go buy some crit?
Yeah. we should see.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Yeah. Let's fight. But yeah. So basically, I wanted to encourage you to try different build paths on him. Pure strength, pure ability strength focus versus pure ability int focus versus maybe hybrid and trying to maximize both effects versus getting a whole bunch of on-hit effects and making your dash through targets be a lot more impactful. The whole goal for Tsukuyomi, because he naturally has kind of a few varieties of playstyle, the goal was to make those varieties of playstyle more approachable and you can more deliberately build into them.
Okay, so let's show this off now. So
they do not crit.
Okay, they do not crit, but they do a lot of damage.
Yes.
And note that because I brought a lot of strength, this is now back to being stun Kusari.
Yes. With the movement.
So if you've never played this character in SMITE 1, once you use your ult, you aren't firing it. It just fires these shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can move around and you can aim them. And the bug. We figured the bug.
Yeah, so we found this actually bug today. Where,
it got really big on that.
Yeah, we found a bug where if you kill someone while the weapons are scaled down, it causes you to get both of your weapon empowerments. But then when the weapons scale back up, they become huge.
Yeah. So that's on our to fix list from this morning. So
it's good that we triggered it
yeah.
here.
But It's and if you kill the guy, then you don't teleport to him, right?
Yeah, you don't teleport. So if the target's dead and becomes invalid, it basically ends the list. And it basically you have like this list of targets that you hit, and it just iterates through them. And if the target's dead, it just goes invalid. Move on to the next one.
This won't be a double kill.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything else on base Tsukuyomi worth talking about?
I think that is all the things. We can move on to the aspect if we
Okay.
want to.
And I do set aspect. No,
It's test talent.
test talent. That's what I couldn't remember. Sorry. Tsukuyomi talent. Okay.
So this one's called the aspect of Mangetsu. I actually had a different name internally, which was aspect of Hangetsu, which is half.
Okay.
Because I actually wanted to have like the first pass of the aspect was you want to try and stride the line between strength and int. That one didn't work well. So we actually wanted to just really double down on the Mangetsu style of play. So this is, if you ever get a Shingetsu range attack, which is the dark range attack, it just becomes a Mangetsu range attack instead. So now your Dark Moon Shuriken will actually give you a Shingetsu range attack. So that's basically the one that scales more with intelligence.
Yeah.
So if you want that one and you want to completely forego ever getting the speed boost that you get from that before,
Yeah.
You can have access to a higher damage range poke. So if you want to play that kind of ranged auto attack poke style play, this is the one that you want to go.
Okay.
Separately, Piercing Moonlight has changed. You'll only, no matter how many times your beam hits the target, you'll only ever dash to that target once. That target, when you hit, will take major AoE damage at the location and do AoE damage around the people that you hit. And you will return to your casting location rather than ending where you were. Because unlike more strength-focused Tsukuyomi, where once you're next to target, you can unleash a really strong Kusari combo with your movement speed, you're in range to auto-attack. If you're playing this range style, you actually want to kind of retreat back. So this gives you essentially a way to retreat back to safety.
I'm going to retreat back to safety at my base and buy some mint items because I think
Yes,
I do not want to be strength for this.
Yes, you definitely want to build intelligence for this one. Because most of the damage, especially now that the damage is really that one burst of AoE that happens, it is a lot. It's a lot more on scaling side. So if you go strength side of this for the safe ult, you really just won't do that much damage.
Okay. I will slowly run back because my teleporter's still on cooldown.
I think if you hit numpad 5, you'll go fast.
Numpad 5? Nope.
Nah.
Oh, maybe? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Cool. All right, we're back. Now I'm going to spawn a couple of mirror bots. Oops.
And chat is judging your build.
That's fine. It's
the one that was just to get it as fast as possible.
Yes, I really spent a lot of time thinking about this, chat, so please judge me. Okay, so I threw out a Dark Moon Shuriken.
But your range attack is Mangetsu's.
Which is different.
Yes, that is different.
Whew, look at that damage.
Yeah,
And then
I did nerf this preemptively. It was 100% in scaling, and that ended up just being quite a lot.
And then for my ult, let's take a look at what this does. And I'm back to where I started.
Back to where you
But I
started.
did a lot of damage.
Yep, a lot of damage on that burst.
Cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So this is, at least in our playtest, this has been more of like a laning. How do you turn off the movement speed again? Is there a way to do that, or just
Supersonic Space 0?
Supersonic Space 0? Okay. Yes, back to normal. Okay. So. And I'm back to where I started.
Yeah. And so this is really meant to be the mid style of play. We've been playing him in playtest as mid Tsukuyomi, and he's been doing pretty successful. The Caltrops end up being kind of your primary wave play. You want to be forward to kind of make it so the minions walk through that.
Yeah.
And that works pretty well. And then you're focusing on harassing your lane mate with a pretty rapid flurry of Mangetsu ranged attacks.
I see people asking, is he still displacement immune in his 2? He is. Pops up over his head. Is he still CC immune in his ult? He is. It pops up over his head. So it's kind of do you want to be I go in, I stun people, I disarm people, I'm causing havoc in the middle of a fight, or do you want to have I'm just kind of staying back and poking kind of gameplay? So
yeah, and I think there's also there's a build path where you stride the line of strength and intelligence, and you kind of decide if you're gonna want that slightly more damage or you want the actual stun. It's probably better on like a bruiser side build because he does have a lot of control, right? Like constantly slowing out the field, disarming people, stunning people, causing some general mayhem. Like I think there's also a build path there that's pretty interesting.
awesome.
The ult for questions on Hi-Rez only impacts like actual base attack hits, so I wouldn't expect that to proc Hi-Rez. but Poly would probably proc as a separate hit. One modifies actual basic attack damage, and the other one procs when you trigger a basic attack thing. And that is actually Tsukuyomi from SMITE 1.
That is Tsukuyomi from SMITE 1. So you can, if you stand at the very edge, you can hit the tower.
Yes. That's one of those things that we'll have to watch and keep an eye on, because the inside can make that quite a bit stronger. So you might have to add some penalty there, but that was a way that Tsukuyomi was pretty reliable in being able to poke out towers. And so we kept that in. If it ends up being strong, we can always tone it down. And that's also the 2 to get the extra hit requires the actually hitting a god with it, that final hit. So you can't like get a 3rd range attack for free by just casting your 2. You actually have to hit a god to get that benefit.
Does there's people are asking if the heal on his passive counts for healing items?
It should. If we've configured it correctly.
Okay. I bought a Poly. Okay, chat.
Yeah. So Poly should proc on all the range attacks. That should work just fine. The question would just be the ult, which I would expect it to proc there because that counts as an enhanced.
Okay. So even on the aspect?
No, not on the aspect.
Not on the aspect.
Probably
Okay, so I have to do test talent. Do test talent off? Is there like a? Can you turn it off with test talent?
Test talent space none.
Okay. Sorry, you have the scuffed. Okay, so if I.
Nope, it doesn't look like it proc.
Didn't look like it.
So yeah, it should. I'll go actually look at that and see what's up. But yeah, if you throw the range attack there, that should be the poly proc.
Yep.
Bunch of kills.
I'm unstoppable.
Deicide.
That's the important part. Sweet. Other questions on Tsukuyomi, chat, because that's kind of what he does. He is incredibly fun to play. I find that when I'm playing Tsukuyomi in either SMITE 2 or SMITE 1, I get a lot of kills. I die a lot.
Yep.
It's a very engaging style of play in the game, you know, because you just go in and you just do things.
There's the moment that happens at least once every game I'm playing Tsukuyomi where I ult and I hit someone and go,
oh
no, I'm actually in trouble when this goes off.
Chuckles, I'm in danger.
Yeah. Yep, ult goes through walls. That's how that was before. You can hit people over walls, which is fine. Someone asked the question about hitting outside of tower range. Yep, that's intended. We'll keep an eye on it because the inside is a lot stronger. Pew, pew, pew.
And now if the whole team is here, I'm dead.
Slay an enemy.
The real fun one is you ult someone and they go, okay, well, I'm just going to run back to like my tower.
Yeah.
And then you're like scrambling to try and hit someone else.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't make me end up under tower.
The dashing has some other flair to it in regards to like kind of speeding up and slowing down. And then there's also one thing we're looking at today, which is the hit happens like at the end of the dash, which isn't quite right. So the hits feel a little like that's kind of what I mean by like where it has some final polish stuff coming in. Like some of the sound timings on like the 2, I know I are being adjusted. So, but yeah.
This is from a bug that's new today, so we'll be fixing that. So don't worry about that. Cool. Other questions. Jithin's asks, can we start the stream over again? He just tuned in.
Sure.
Okay, so next guy coming to... No, I'm just kidding.
We have to go through the whole body pillow discussion again.
So there's a question. If he ults one person, he teleports to them, but multiple he stays where he casted. No, if he in his basic kit, he will teleport to the person that he hit.
Yeah, and it'll end at the last person he teleported to.
And if you are in the aspect and you hit anybody, you're going to return back to where you started.
Yeah, no matter what.
Is it worth it to go more int with base Suku?
So I do think that the base Suku, like if you want to, it's going to be more when you're playing that more hybrid-y style of you are building some strength because you do want to stay in and on targets. That style play I think is more about kind of balancing the play styles more effectively.
Okay.
If you are going pure int, I think you'll basically always want to go the aspect. If you're going pure strength, you basically never want to go the aspect. Okay. And then if you're playing the kind of hybrid middle ground, I think it's a little bit better to be non-aspect so you can get the movement speed stuff when you need it. Just to kind of like, you're playing more close to mid-range in that style of play versus like long range to mid-range with the aspect.
Cool. I think it's time to take a look at his Ascension Pass.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I actually haven't seen any of this yet.
It's pretty good. The card art is not done yet. I just checked before this, or the card effects, not the card art.
Right.
But everything else should be done. So let me go back. Oops, press the wrong thing. Laptop.
Someone asked if there's a limit to the dashes. It's still up to 3 targets per beam for 12 dashes maximum.
Yes. So quick look at the man, the myth, Tsukuyomi. And then let's take a look at his Ascension Pass. So we have the Shadow skin.
Ooh, that looks good.
It's very good. We have Watch Your Feet, the tick damage done by Silver Moon Caltrops.
Yep.
And then we have the Master emote, just for buying in and becoming Ascended. Or if you buy the Ultimate Founders Edition, you're going to get all of these.
Yeah,
You'll just get this when you log in on Tuesday. He has a clap.
Man,
Okay.
he's so
edgy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, man. Objectives destroyed, the classic tracker, God's Assist, the Onyx skin.
Oh,
This looks so good.
That looks so nice. Those weapons look amazing.
I love the way that they did like the kind of silver and gold for the night and day, you know? Like we normally don't do a lot of silver on the Onyx, but like this looks really cool.
I'm just a sucker for like unique weapons and just when they look really, really cool.
We also have the Opal, which kind of is a similar thing. Like this one's more opal, this one's more like silver.
Yeah.
We have chat. Are you ready for the global emote? Are you ready?
Oh. That's so good.
It's pretty darn good. So
that's so good.
If you want to be the moon's protector, highly recommend picking up Tsukuyomi's Ascension Pass.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It's very well done. Shout out to the art team. That's his wave?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He just does like a bow. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because his whole thing is he's very proper and here's the decorum. He's not going to just wave.
I love also like in this skin, you can really see like the lines on his chest. They're supposed to be like the lines of energy or something, right? Yeah. It's pretty cool. God kills. Normal tracker, the Tsukuyomi Mastery Badge. Like I said, the card art isn't in yet. And then lastly, we have the Radiant skin.
Yeah, and that's just great.
It's pretty cool. It looks very like, for some reason, I feel like this kind of like white with this outfit feels very like JRPG-ish, even more so than like the normal design.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So it's pretty sweet. Oh, there is a title. The title is Moon God. Sorry, I clicked over it. Thanks for reminding me, chat. Sweet. I'm going to go back to us. And of course, Tsukuyomi, tell us, how did you enjoy your showcase? Are you excited to come into the game?
I mean, he looks thrilled.
Awesome. I'm going to start off. I think it's time for skins. And then, of course, we'll take questions at the end if we have any time. The first skin is the only one not related to something else going on in this update. So I'm just going to show it off by itself here. If I can find it. We have a returning cross-gen skin.
I'm just reading chat. There's the line calling. Someone's like, he looks to it as crazy.
This is Guiding Light Ganesha. So this is a cross-gen skin. If you own this in Smite 1, you'll just get it in Smite 2. That's the way cross-gen skins work. It's a pretty cool skin. The effects on this skin are actually really cool. They're very like I don't know, like divine. I don't know. Like they're cool looking. So
yeah, material work on that looks great.
It's a neat skin. Yeah. This skin is will be available for purchase if you don't own it in Smite 1. If you own it in Smite 1, you get it for free. And there are no prisms. It's just a new skin. So
nice.
Enjoy it. It's tagged wrong. It shouldn't be tagged classic, but other than that, cool. Let me come back to us to go to the next thing. Okay. Next thing that I have to talk about is a new event. This event is something that we're trying for the first time in Smite 2, and we'll see if people like it.
Yeah.
But we're bringing back a version of the Reaping.
So that was the candy was about.
That's what the candy was about. The candy was related to our Halloween event. If you're new to Smite, every year we do a Halloween-themed event called The Reaping. It's different every year, so this year will be different than it was in the past. But it's something new. So the way that the event works, there are just for fun, just for playing, you're going to get some quests that will give you things. You will get a jump stamp quest, which is candy corn that pops up. You will get a pumpkin badge, and you will get a candy corn ward skin, just for playing. It's kind of fun. You will also, if you pick up 100 pieces of candy,
That's a lot of candy.
It's a lot of candy. That might be too many pieces of candy. But currently, the quest is set up. If you pick up 100 pieces of candy, you will get a reaping pumpkin.
What's that do?
That's a good question. So, if you pick up, if you get 3 pumpkins, let's go here. You will get this Princess Bari skin.
Ooh.
So, and this Princess Bari skin replaces her bell with a jack-o'-lantern too.
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty fun.
We've had that in playtest multiple times, and I've actually wanted to go and like pick up the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'll go in game and take a look at this in a minute, but basically the way that this event works is that all of the travelers that we release over the next few updates will contain a pumpkin as part of the traveler.
Oh, nice.
And you will be able, during the course of the event, you'll be able to get 2 completely free pumpkins. So if you buy any traveler over the course of this event and you get your 2 free pumpkins, you'll be able to get this Princess Bari skin free. If you get to 4 pumpkins, you will get some card effects, which are pretty cool, and I'll show those off in a second. And if you get to 6 pumpkins, you will get a skin. This is Being Mysterious for some reason. It's going to be Slaughterhouse Chalk with a bunch of really cool prisms.
Nice.
So you'll get basically like some bonuses for doing a little bit of questing, and if you decide to buy several travelers. If you get over 6 pumpkins, there are up to 10 earnable through the entire event. You'll get a roll of a chest that contains kind of thematically scary or dress up skins. So you'll get just like an extra free skin with each pumpkin over 6. So basically just free stuff for collecting collecting a bunch of pumpkins.
Nice.
Where's the this is the card frame that you'll get at 4 pumpkins. So it's pretty cool, thematic.
Nice.
Cool. I'm going to go and show off the first 2. Actually, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back off of the screen and we're going to go take a look at the Bari thing in game just because I want to show you guys the pumpkin because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I just need to do this. Sorry, chat. This is why you don't let me run the computer because I talk to myself while I'm trying to get things set up. Okay, back to the laptop. Okay, so this is the skin that you'll get, once you get 3 pumpkins. And the ball is this awesome little jack-o'-lantern.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Other than that, it's got some like kind of spooky, thematic effects. And the big thing is the pumpkin. So
yeah, very
showing
nice.
this off. You can get 2 pumpkins for free, as we said, and then if you end up getting any traveler over the course of this event to get a 3rd pumpkin, you'll get Princess Bari.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm going to come back to us then and go back to this. Yeah, it's a cool skin. That said, I think the skins in these first 2 travelers that are part of this event might be cooler.
Yeah, I got to play one of them.
Do you want to do that one first, or should we do the other one first?
Let's do the other one first.
Okay, the other one first. Okay, so chat. The first traveler that's a part of this event is, let me start with this one. Okay, there. The Survivor Uller. The people love this Uller skin. This is his most used skin in Smite 1, and he's back with a couple of sweet new prisms.
Nice.
I've
seen one already that I know I'll use.
They're kind of fun. So, as you can see, there is a pumpkin that you can get as part of this. There is Survivor as a title, which is a pretty good title.
That's a good title.
I might actually just use that. And then there are 3 prisms. The first prism is Fang Slayer. It's kind of cool. The second prism, which I think might be my favorite,
Yeah, this is one I would use.
is Corpse Caller. It's kind of like
He failed to survive.
he failed to survive, and he is now a zombie doing the hunting himself. And lastly, as Chuck Killigan. I didn't name it, but it's kind of cool. So you got.
I feel like there's history behind that name.
There's probably something there that I'm not familiar with. So this first traveler, once again, is Survivor Uller, Fang Slayer Uller, Corpse Caller, and as Chuck Killigan. I actually really like the color scheme of this one.
Yeah.
It's just the name is a little silly.
I like the Fangsley one too, just because like it reminds me of, like Bill from Left 4 Dead. Like,
Yeah.
it's the older dude.
I can see that. Yeah. And then as we have mentioned recently, we've added 5 levels of double coin rewards for buying a Traveler. So if you do buy this, you'll get 5 levels of double coins. And that's this one. I'm going to go back to us so I don't spoil anything else because there is some stuff that's work in progress. And then we'll take a look at the other. Let me make sure I start the right one. The other Traveler in this, which is Vampirus
this one was
Soul.
dope.
Yeah, this skin looks great.
Yeah, it looks
the effects
fantastic.
are also insane.
Yeah, you throw out like these kind of like energy.
I think we're gonna go in game and look at this
Yeah,
one real
yeah,
quick,
they're
just because
so
like the
good.
effects are so sick. This is like an all new skin. It shouldn't be marked classic. This skin didn't have an equivalent in SMITE 1, and it is kind of dope. So you get quite a few things in this one too. You're gonna get obviously the base soul skin just for buying it. You're gonna get this Vampirus,
I think would be how you say it.
It's like me trying papyrus. Anyway, as the title, you're going to get the chonky floof bat ward.
That's good.
Tell me this isn't one of the best wards in the game.
That's very cute.
It's amazing. A pumpkin. So if in this first update, if you get your free pumpkin plus get both of the travelers, then you would be able to get the Bari skin in the
Yes.
first update. The other free pumpkin will be available later. And then we do have 3 prisms here. The first prism, Moonlit Mistress.
Just a dope color scheme.
Yeah, I feel like the white always just looks like really clean. And like, it's like, especially on an evil skin, it's just like, I don't know. Somehow it's...
There's that like one skin line that we've done before, like the Blood Mages. Like
Yeah.
Arthur had that one. Like that's always like a cool color scheme. Reminds me of that.
We have Blood Rose.
Nice.
That's cool. It's kind of like leaning into even more the vampirist thing, you know, with the red elements.
Yep.
Very cool. And we have Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
My brain tried to read through that, which is cool.
Yeah, that's neat. These
So-
are really cool looking skins.
These are all sick. So definitely, we're gonna go in game and take a look at this one because I think it's pretty neat. And once again, there's a pumpkin in there, so
Yeah.
Added benefit as part of this reaping event.
See, the unfortunate thing is like black and red is like my favorite color scheme of all time. So there's no way I use the other prisms, even though they look really cool.
Yeah, this is no, we go this and let me do this, and then let me level up my abilities. Okay, and then let me go back to the laptop. Okay, so this is the skin in game, and those basic attacks
Yeah.
are little like balls of bats that she is throwing. It's so freaking cool. Like
Yeah.
when I first saw these coming at me in game, I was like, this is insane.
And then the empowered ones are really cool too.
Are they? Is it just like the 2 or the?
If you just max like master
Oh.
1, you'll get like full heat.
Oh, let me. Oh, hold on, wait, that was cool. I had to do the reduce cooldowns and reset cooldowns, and then let me dash. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very cool. And then we've got the burning fire.
Yeah.
To make an impact.
Okay.
Vanish
And then
into
we've
the
got
night.
the I'm a ball of bats.
Yep.
And then we've got
Blood.
was that blood? I don't know. It looked like blood.
It's just cool.
Yeah, this skin is sick. And this is one of my, like, we've done some cool skins, but this is something about this skin just is really neat. And so hopefully y'all like it. And I think it's pretty darn cool.
Someone mentioned the aspect because her aspect actually has an extra thing on
Oh,
the
does it?
on the like when you explode after the 3.
Okay, let me see.
I did not play aspect. I played
Talent.
lane.
Let me see if I can do that real quick. And see if it does anything. I think I broke the talent here.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm probably just not going to try and show that off right now.
All right.
But we will take a look at that and make sure that it is working properly.
Yep.
Normally. I'm not sure if it broke because I changed to test talent or if it broke because, you know.
Well, yeah, you used a version of it that wasn't the talent version. Which
Yeah.
there's some talents that can break that way.
Cool. Okay. Let me look at my list of things and make sure that we are working our way through them.
Yeah, I know there's other stuff this patch, but I imagine you're saving that for Friday.
Yeah, there's a couple other things that I'm going to
Also
tease,
balance.
but we can't show yet
Yeah.
because they aren't quite done. So they're in the supporter store. There will be a new name color bundle for people that like that, but it's not working today. So we'll show it off in game on Friday, but something to look forward to if you are a name color enjoyer and want to support. We will be adding to the normal store. We will be adding what's the official term for it? The essential version of the item store.
Yeah, I guess the essential is probably that's what we kind of gone with internally. So the essential store.
Yeah, essentially. But this is the transition method for players to go from the quick play pick 3 roguelike system into the normal version, the classic version of the game if they choose to.
Yeah.
So now you'll be able to go into the classic version of the game and be presented with 3 options and then actually build those items with components. So you don't have to be able to afford the whole thing to afford it. You'll be able to pick specific consumables.
Yep, it'll introduce you to a few new relics as well. So instead of just being agility relic by default, you'll have the option to do Be the Nagus as well. Essentially, it's our stepping stone to take someone who's liking quick play but wants to try and expand out to some of the more other queues and build more items and start to get more familiar with that side of the game, is that transition element.
Yeah, and it's kind of like we said when we introduced a lot of this stuff in the first place. Most of the people watching the show are probably never going to use this.
Yeah.
But if your friend wants to come play Smite and not learn the item store and wants to play with you, this is a really easy way of, I get to make some decisions. I get to feel like I'm doing something.
Yep.
And I'm not going to end up screwing myself too badly with anything that I pick because this also uses a new picking logic than the quick play system has been using, correct?
Yeah, so quick play, the variety was there. It was meant to basically be like, we're just going to show you a whole bunch of items that might be interesting. It wasn't really trying to create the most cohesive build ever.
Yeah.
It was giving you things that were generally directionally correct, but also like it would randomly throw you like
Just have some fun.
It would throw you a Rana Tahuti on a tank build just because.
Yeah.
These are a lot more refined to where like the first 3 choices that you're given are basically really good for the build style that you're going. They're more commonly to show up. We've trimmed some of the fat from the other builds, so you're not going to get as wild of selection options. And the other thing is this actually now supports support and jungle. So if you are playing jungle or you are playing support, it will properly recommend to you to actually get the support starter or the jungle starter with builds that support that kind of play style.
And we've been forcing ourselves to use this in playtests to make sure that it is improving. And the first couple playtests, you would have thought that we were doing bad things to these people. They were like, this is unplayable. I don't understand why anybody would ever want this. Last few playtests, I haven't heard really any complaints. It's just like, cool. I ended up with a build. That was fine. That was fun. Like, it's maybe not the most optimal build I could possibly get, but honestly, for most players, it's better than picking randomly in the store.
Yeah, probably.
And more fun. So I'm pretty excited about it, and we'll see if it further improves retention. We have a metric of what percentage of players play 20 games in their first 14 days.
Yep.
It's usually just like a good metric for us of like, these players are going to stick around for a while because like you have to kind of care about the game to play that many games. It's kind of, at first we thought it was like, well, we should be more incentivizing getting to 20 games because that's the metric that moves people. But really it's just like, they just have to be having enough fun to want to get to 20 games. Right. But we just hit another like new high point for that. So our efforts are continuing to pay off and we're getting better and better on the retention side. And hopefully this is the next step to get people transitioning from, hey, maybe I played 20 games of quick play, but I don't, I'm not ready to play classic with this intimidating item store. Now you'll be able to move more in that direction.
Oh, and also the essential store, I don't know if you mentioned it, but it does have a consumable section. So
Yep.
it actually shows you all your consumables. And this also has some other small improvements to the actual draft buy system for quick play as well, which is once you actually are full build, it will show you like, here's a elixir that you can get to continue spending your gold on, which previously wasn't there. So it supports a lot of like the goal really is if someone's using it, you should look at their build and go like, yeah, I could see that was a reasonable build that they could have chosen. You might see 1 or 2 odd items there, here or there, but like the goal is to make that a much better experience for them.
Yeah. And it's like, I will say it should end up no odder than a player building for themselves in casuals now can, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, this will almost certainly be better because I watched demos of new players playing.
Yeah.
And there's just a really high amount of people who don't build anything. And
Yeah.
we have a flashing thing that's saying, hey, do this
Please buy something.
Please buy something.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I don't actually want to hit the I button ever. So this will be a lot better for those type of players as well.
Cool. The other thing that I have, the only other thing that I have to update people on today is some changes coming to Conquest that are just kind of a little bit more of our progression. We're still working on some bigger things behind the scenes that aren't in this update. Maybe it'll be in the next update, maybe the update after that. But a couple changes to look forward to in Conquest. The first one is that fire imps will have their base stats decreased.
Yep.
They are now considered bosses.
Yes.
And the intent of this is to make these more approachable for solo laners without requiring the jungler as much.
Yeah, so the goal when we added the fire imps, we opened up that side of the camp was to make it so that the solo laner had more access to go contest those things, especially if they got a big lead. And it kind of turned into more the jungler's responsibility because they were still pretty tanky. The jungler,
They did a lot of damage too.
They did a lot of damage without the Bumba's benefit. It actually was really hard to kill them. So the goal here is if you're a jungler, they should feel about as difficult as they did before. Going over there to help your solo lane contest it and control it should be pretty viable.
We've had a lot of fights over them in playtests.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we have. But the goal is like if the solo laner feels like they have pressure, like let's say they've pushed up their lane really well and they notice that the jungler is ganking the dual lane, so they're not worried about the jungler coming to contest it, they could reasonably go take it on their own now. And that was their original goal in the first place.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to make the jungler less impactful there. We're just trying to make it so the solo laner has more impact there.
Yeah, and it also like it's as somebody who plays a decent amount of solo lane in our playtest, it is still far away from solo lane, and like you're probably going to miss if your opponent doesn't follow you and just pushes the wave, you're probably going to miss a couple minions, getting this, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a trade-off in making the decision to go there.
Yeah, and we have, I guess we should probably pair the other kind of solo lane related change that affects them more, because this is, again, another way to change how you want to leverage your lead as a solo lane player. So, so one avenue is the fire imps are going to be more accessible to you. The other avenue, which we've previously basically blocked with our proxying rules, was proxying the wave. And we are going to lower that to, I believe, 5 minutes now. That proxy protection is going to go away. So after the first few waves that happen in the game, you're going to be able to actually now try and proxy the wave, put yourself in a really aggressive spot, but the potential of being able to like actually outfarm your opponent, put them under the tower more, get them under more pressure. That's going to be another path that's available to you to kind of leverage your solo lane.
So no more proxy protection after 5 minutes. So that's get excited, chat, if you want to be a proxier. And then I have one more little change here. And that is that jungle monsters have been adjusted to when they can use abilities to be after 3 attacks.
Yes.
We moved it to be earlier, maybe a little too much earlier.
So
right?
we did 2 things.
Okay.
So one was we moved it earlier, but it was random. It was 2 or 3 attacks. So if you low rolled into 2 attacks, it basically created a scenario where you actually couldn't really learn the feel of like, you want to pull a camp, you want to kind of pull out to the edge, and sometimes it would just roll into the 2 attack sequence and it would stop not quite where you want to. You'd miss your attack. At 3, that should be a much more consistent experience. We do like that you actually have to engage against the attacks more directly, but essentially we want to let you set up the position of that camp the way that you want to before it starts trying to do its attack.
Awesome. Well, that's everything that I have for patch notes today. I feel like just as a dev team, we have a lot of stuff that's kind of like in progress right now as well, right? Like, so, I think there's a decent amount in this patch, a lot of stuff to be excited for, but yeah, we have a lot more to look forward to and following updates as well. So
I have 2 gameplay balance wide features that I'm working on right now. We have a pretty big Conquest Pass stuff that we're still doing.
We've got 3 major UI features in various states of completion.
We have some aspects coming up that are exciting.
Yeah. So and remember, guys, it's been 2 weeks since our last update. 2 weeks. So we have coming on Tuesday. We have Tsukuyomi with his aspect and his ascension pass.
Yep.
We have the Reaping event, where you'll be able to get the Princess Bari Spooky Oracle, I think it's called, and the Happy Reaping card effects, and then eventually more skins. And the first 2 travelers that are part of that are the Survivor Uller and the Moonlit Mistress Soul. There's also a quest in there to get a pumpkin badge, a jump stamp, and a ward. There's the cross-gen Ganesha Guiding Light, There is a new name color bundle, which we'll show you on Friday. There's the item store rework to include the pick 3, which we will show you on Friday. And there are some Conquest changes, and there's a whole balance pass, which we will talk about on Friday.
Yes.
With that said, do you want to take some questions?
Yeah, let's take some
Let's
questions.
take some questions.
What are the Conquest changes? We got to make sure that we are happy with where they're
Yeah.
at and they're more complete before we really talk about them.
Yeah, we're experimenting with a lot of stuff right now. And I would say some of the stuff has been very promising, but nothing is quite where we're like, hit the ship button. you know, there's more work that needs to be done before we think it'll be in a place where it's really ready to talk about. Because a lot of times when we talk about, when we talk about things before they're 100% locked in, then people will assume forever that it's definitely happening.
You also want to like kind of get it all together, because if you talk about it, like if I were to like kind of spoil it as like a half off thing, it's like, if I say certain words, I think people have like an expectation that goes along with it, or they'll start to fill in the gaps without the full, like it's better to just explain the full context of the thing when we're ready.
You might know the answer to this. How's Yorm doing so far? This person says he feels useless.
He is underwhelming.
Okay, interesting. He was overwhelming in our playtest, but we nerfed him a bit.
We did nerf him in the playtest. We found a few bugs that are already hotfixed that will help him out. I think there's like a range issue on his one with specifically restricted camera pitch, or his ult, which like that was like a specific thing that like we knew something was wrong there, but when we actually went and looked at it, it looked fine because we weren't using that camera mode. And then as a spoiler, I guess, for balance tomorrow, he has balance improvements for tomorrow. So
Clumsy also says Snick is getting Snickier soon, so I assume that's related to that balance that you're talking about. Is Quick Play Arena just normal arena rules? Not exactly. It's sped up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's sped up. The spooling rate, the amount you get for kills is a lot higher. The amount of tickets is lower. There's also like some gold pacing changes, especially also because, for example, in that mode, you get a starter, but you get it for free. It actually doesn't cost you any gold. And when you upgrade it, it doesn't cost you, it's just level based. So like there's a lot of like subtle rules changes there just to make that a better kind of quick introduction to the arena game mode. Quick Play Joust has very similar things with spooling. It has similar rules with like the starter item just kind of upgrading on its own. We essentially try to make sure we pare down as much of the stuff in the game so that you have very deliberate choices you're making and you're just focused on the combat side of things. And that's also why the Essential Store is kind of a good middle ground of like, now we're starting to be like, here's you actually picking a starter and it actually takes some gold to upgrade it. Here's items. You can't just immediately build it. You have to start building the components for it. That's kind of what that's for.
Yep. I saw this note and I wrote it down. That's what I was just typing up. Can you color code the store filters to match the color in item descriptions? I thought that was a pretty good idea. I don't know if it would make the store look weird or not, but I think it's a decent idea, and I'll pass it back to the UI team and see if it's something that is a good idea.
Someone asked a question about like, is it just Pawn and Clumsy who design the gods? Well, we're the ones who generally like lead the god, but like some gods are very programmer heavy, and so we're there more to like kind of make sure that like the programmers have the information they need to make the stuff.
Yep.
It really depends. There's a lot of hands who are involved with all the gods, and there's varying levels of some gods are much more designer heavy because design can just do the things because we've built the tools to do it. And then some characters like Yorm, for example, Josh had to spend a lot of time on the spline system to make that look good and the camera work that was required to make that look good. So it's really just depends. But generally we're the ones that kind of like we kind of have like the high level view of like where all the pieces are coming together.
Yeah. And we do have Caps is starting to help out a little bit with some gods as well. So he is.
Yeah, he's started prototyping 2 characters we haven't talked about
cool.
yet, which is pretty cool. It just goes to show we have some really cool tools.
Yeah. Are reports actually reviewed? There are people intentionally ruining the ranked experience who do not get action taken against them. We do review reports. We did a little bit on Titan Talk about a week ago, I think, where Hindu Man showed off some of our anti-cheat, kind of stuff. We do look at reports. Please report people. And very frequently when we go in and we look at reports, nobody has reported them. And, one person reported it and they've been saying awful things for weeks, and we do have some automation to pick up the people saying awful things as well. But there are weights put on things to prioritize their review, and reporting people does help prioritize us reviewing them. So please report people. We are banning people. When on the show the other day, Hindu Man was like, I banned 3 people this morning. That's,
Yeah.
and he's not the only person doing it.
Yeah, and he's generally the one that has like he kind of handles more like escalated
Yeah.
specific cases versus we have like a lot of other systems in place and people working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked an interesting question. I lost it. No. It was agility relic versus beads versus Aegis.
Oh yeah.
So just quick relic stats in general. Beads is by far and away the most popular one. It generally beats out all the rest.
Makes sense.
Agility is basically with the rest of the cast of relics, so it's not like super popular, but it gets picked about the amount everyone else does. It also doesn't seem to be winning much more than everyone else. Aegis is actually probably the one that has the worst, like it's built a lot but worst performance. And we actually have a bug fix for Friday that we'll talk about that probably explains why that's been the case. So if anything, Aegis probably needs buff.
Okay.
Beads is definitely the one that's most relevant. And agility relic, I saw the thread today about like people talking about like agility relic. It's one of those things that does create a very different play experience when you play against it. But the amount people are building it as well as its actual overall success rate seems to indicate it's pretty close to in line. So if we were to adjust it, it probably wouldn't be on the order of 10xing the cooldown like someone suggested in the thread. It'd probably be more like 5 seconds or like some other tweaks to some of the other benefits.
Have we thought any more about bringing it to ranked, or is it still in the testing phase in your...
I probably would like to move it to ranked. We had the discussion. We just didn't pull the trigger for the actual patch.
Yeah.
But we probably maybe one more round of balance, a small tweak, and then send it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where we're
at.
Speaking to the mic, yeah, I'm bad at show.
Yep. Can I have that body pillow?
No, it's mine. Horus, Set, and Achilles would get lonely.
Is the soul gem issue with it not stacking on minions anymore intended? Yes, I believe that was the balance change, right? It only stacks on gods now?
It should be allied god hits. I don't think you stack it off minion hits.
Yeah.
I mean, I can check. But hitting it off minions ends up causing it to be really strong.
When building the last tier of Tahuti, you lose 5 base int. Intended?
You build off the 2, so that's 90? Maybe. Yeah, I'll go look.
Okay.
I have like another list of item things to look at too, which is like the order that they're placed in the store, like the components
It's
are.
45, 45, and then 85. Yeah.
Yeah, it should probably be 90 at least.
Okay. Because you do get a lot of extra bonus out of it, but it does make sense.
Why does Yorm 2 not CC buffer? Is it working as intended? So yeah, this is an interesting case. So the general rule for CC buffering that we tried to abide by is if the previous counterplay to the ability was such that you would interrupt it as like part of your standard play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people have different definitions of that, but like Bologna 2 is another good example of this, right? Like Bologna 2 has a very long buildup that is very susceptible to being interrupted, and that's part of the counterplay of that ability.
Yeah, this is the way the ability was designed.
Yorm 2 is very similar to that kind of ability. Abilities that have like a 0.3 second pre-fire where like, yeah, maybe if you have a 0 instantaneous stun, you maybe have the human reaction time to do that. That's not what we were trying to target with the CC buffering system. But these types of abilities where they have really, really, really long buildups, those are the ones that we more tried to target. So Yorm's 2 is, someone mentioned it to be a channel, right? Like it's a kind of a channel effect, and therefore it doesn't follow the CC buffering rules.
Yep. Are we still working on lighting? Yeah, we are still working on some lighting stuff. We are working on things to kind of around Conquest that touch lighting and a lot of other things, but don't have any updates to share on those yet. We're not quite at a place where we're happy for the next phase to move forward.
Yep.
Win PTS. Sometime tonight is the current plan. We needed to make a new build because the last one was broken. I'll see if I've gotten a message about that being different. But the plan, as of when we started this, was later tonight.
Someone asked for an indicator on how close the camp is to loading Infamy. I think that's one system that I want to kind of revisit as a whole is the Infamy system. I think there's some really cool stuff there, but it's invisible and not many other things interact with it in a meaningful way. And I think there's a lot of room to grow that system as a whole.
Yeah.
It's less currently on our current Conquest plans. Our current Conquest plans are more focused on some other stuff. But that's like one, like when we were like in the meeting talking about what we wanted to do, that was one aspect that came up, and I think we have room for improvement there.
Oh, there's a question. Any idea we may be able to expand the band count for ranked? I would say we've mentioned previously that we're working on making some changes to the match lobby, and some of the stuff kind of snuck in to the last PTS. Those changes are still in progress. I mentioned as well on the show that we kind of abandoned one direction that it was going in, and we're sending it in another direction. I think we're much happier with.
Yeah.
So we aren't going to make any changes to that until the lobby is done, but maybe think there might be some changes to everything the lobby affects once we get to the lobby. So. And it is 2:00.
It is 2.
Which means it's time for one more question. Thanks everybody for watching today. It's been a fun day going through a new god. Always a good show. Going through the reaping stuff. Going through some other new stuff that's coming in the update, and then we'll have more to cover on Friday because this was a weird week with the holiday on Monday.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's schedule here at the studio is a little bit off. Like right before the show, we were like, "Oh yeah, we got the show today, don't we?"
Yeah, it didn't register to me because normally I do stuff after work Wednesday, and I didn't realize it was Wednesday because we just didn't have Monday. Like, I'm such a creature of habit now.
Yeah, yeah. I will answer this one real quick, and then I'll answer another question. It's the next 2 travelers are also going to come with a pumpkin, or only these 2? I believe it's every traveler through OB21. So I think there's going to be 8 total travelers that come with pumpkins.
So basically through October, roughly.
Yeah. This is 18, so 18, 19, 21. Yeah, so the next 4 updates, all the travelers will come with pumpkins. So, if you aren't in love with these ones, though I think Soul's pretty sweet, and if you play Uller, that's a really good Uller skin. You don't have to, get one now if you're looking for, I really only want Bari, and I need one more pumpkin to go with my free one kind of thing.
You'll have a lot of travelers to choose from at that point.
Yeah. So there's a lot to choose from there.
Someone asked a question I think is interesting, which is any updates for Action Cam coming? I think largely we are kind of at a stable point with Action Cam.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I would not use Action Cam. I would probably stick with the classic cam because I've played Smite for more than a decade at this point, and I like my camera the way it is.
Yes.
But we've seen that people approaching the game and seem to like the overall view. It's really easy to change. There's 2 styles, and one that causes you not to have the aim change your basic attack. That one also seems like a pretty good alternative for people who like the more closer view. And I think the next big improvement that we'd make to them would be things like making it so you have a clear selection about what style you want, so you can more easily opt into your style. As well as down the road, I'd like to maybe expose a few options so you could tailor your experience a little bit more. And that's even for base camera as well. But actually supporting all those things and getting UI, that's a relatively decently large ask, because when you change FOV, you also have to change a whole bunch of other stuff to make sure it works correctly. So if you want to make that a slider that's available, and it's one of those things that we think is largely good where it is. We probably have a lot of other things to hit on our list before we start trying to look at the improvements, more improvements there outside of the selecting.
Definitely. And I, real quick, Alani check. I have a peach hint today. It's like water, but like somebody waved a peach over it. Doesn't really taste much like peach. Maybe that's why they call it hint. It's just a hint of peach. That's not actually peach.
At least
you would think
they were straightforward on the labeling, right?
Should have been a much smaller picture of a peach for the amount of peach flavor in this drink. Anyway,
I actually did have an Alani. I got the Orange Kiss. Normally I stay away from these because they have a lot of caffeine.
They do.
But I actually just didn't really have caffeine, so I was like, I should probably.
I went the other way. I had a lot of coffee this morning. And the last quick question was hardest item to shorten the text on.
I know the answer to this one.
I want to say it was Brawlers, right? Wasn't that one insane?
Brawlers and Sanguine were the 2.
Yeah, Sanguine was the other one that was really bad. So
which coincidentally were the 2 ones that I most recently worked on, and we're like, okay, we have to have a whole bunch of these conditions to make them work properly, and
it was a lot of. The more clauses, the more difficult it was. So.
And it's funny too because you'll look at it and go there's got to be a better way to rewrite this, and you start rewriting it, and you start going Oh no, but now I've broken this styling here, and I've broken this styling here, and these 3 items say it this specific way. That's not exactly what I want for this. When you try and make a system consistent when you have a whole bunch of pieces that were made not consistent before.
Yep.
It's always a very interesting challenge.
Yep. And with that, I think we'll wrap the show today. Thank you all so much for watching. PTS later tonight, Patch Live on Tuesday, and we will see you on the battleground of the gods. Goodbye.